Hi, everyone. My name is Jim Lal-Tabak. I'm a yoga teacher, energy healer, and health and wellness coach. Welcome to this evening's healing energy treatment. Really grateful for all the people that can come. And I'm going to just talk a little bit as people come on about my uh, journey into becoming I often wonder and ask myself, well, how did I get here? Right? So, how did I, when I call myself an energy healer, what the heck? Where did that come from? Right? Because, over time, things just like descriptions of job classifications that they have. But I just so I thought I'd talk a little bit about that and just maybe briefly touch base on some of the things that I've experienced over time. Uh, and I remembered when I was a little child, and so that was. I also noticed as a in a young age that I had some kind of spiritual connection. I didn't know what it was exactly. My religion defined it for me a little bit, but it was just this warm, fuzzy feeling, and all that sort of evaporated. The reason I'm telling this story is because uh, over time, there have been challenges all through my life. And at age 10, my mother died, and I felt, of course, abandoned. Um, and that, was a big challenge at that point. And then later, maybe 8 years later, 7 years later, a family friend died, and I was asked to give him a foot massage. And I was like 17, 18 years old, just in summer break from college. And it was really interesting to feel, I felt like I actually could help someone. And I think that was also, just a little tiny window into, where I was going, which I had no idea at the time. But I did start doing meditation and yoga when I was 18, when I left, you know, home and went to college. And through that, I had light experiences. I had a kundalini, what I call the kundalini experience, where the energy was just overpowering, and I had to drop out of college for a semester. Um, and so all that brought me to grounding, doing yoga and tai chi and other things to sort of rein in that wild, kundalini like serpent, is a wild beast. And so I learned slowly how to harness that energy over time. And and then I started having, I had some light experiences, which at the age of 19, I had no idea, or maybe it was even 18. I had no idea what that was. It was a little scary. But I started to realize that there's something more out there. And that continued. Over time. I went on a 2 year extended journey around the world, and I had a near-death experience while I was there. So um, all these things, and there's a few more things, but that was the biggest for me, that biggest challenge when I nearly lost my body. And 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 it's called, in some ways it's like a physical betrayal, where you can't trust your body anymore. And my body had no function except I could breathe at the time. um, but I left my body and I came back, and I was told I had to make lemonade, so to speak, with the lemon I was I had a lemon of a car, which was my body. It was a it had failed. And anyway, uh, so all ever since then, I've been on this healing journey, and I started having out of the body experiences where I was traveling, sort of astrally, um, and I met people that had experiences like that as well, and learned from them, and over time teaching yoga. I actually worked with my hands a lot, physical work, um, for as a career for a while, and then I saw this psychic, Sonia Choquette, and she said, "Well, you have energy just pouring out of your hands. Just go ahead and touch people." And and I said, "Yeah, right." And so after that, a week, six months later, I started feeling my hands vibrating, and I thought, "What the heck is this?" Maybe there was something that uh, crazy intuitive was picking up, and so I started following, um, and learning different modalities. And over time, and I was encouraged by my partner to do just that. I mean, sometimes, I doubted everything because I was raised scientifically, um, and so over time I started to trust the universe, trust my body, trust that I was on the right path for whatever the purpose in my life. And so that's where it is today. I think I think that I want to get into the treatment. There's been a request to focus energy on in Jamaica after their huge um, difficulty with the typhoon and disaster there. And so I don't want to encourage people that are on the call to also just have put that in with your intention as we work, and whatever personal issues you might have, but also that we share some of this well meaning, well intention, those good intentions, and send them to people in the world that really are suffering. So that is a mission I think that is well worth having uh, in your life, and to take care of yourself, of course. Do everything you can to help your body, your mind, your spirit evolve and grow, and also then share your consciousness, your belief of support for others. So let's just sit quietly now, feel the earth beneath your feet, feel the support of your seat, feel gravity giving you a big hug and holding you to the earth. Just being mindful and present in the moment. You can close your eyes if you like. And just remembering that every, for me, the biggest quote unquote disaster was actually the most rewarding and meaningful and life changing and enhancing experience. So we can start to see that when we have difficult a difficult experience, a challenging one, that we can start to look back on it. Usually it's hindsight, but look at it as, oh yeah, this is, part of my life lesson, my growth lesson that can um, I can take and make something really special out of. So we want to know that, at least that, to me, I mean, that's a great way to approach, especially the traumas that we experience, um, whether it be a loss of a loved one or a loss of our physical, uh, mental, emotional, you know, strengths. They can be, you know, so we might feel less, uh, less than what we were in some ways, but then we have this opportunity to make choices, to grow, to really rebuild. And a lot of times rebuilding can make it better, right? Rebuilding, societies have rebuilt time and time again, and usually it's better than it was in the past. So, um, I mean, you could argue that, but still, that if you think about it that way, you have that opportunity to change and change for the better when when you get the big challenges or even the small ones. So, just a little reminder there that as things come up, if thoughts, you thinking about the big challenge in Jamaica, any big challenges in your life, or even little ones, you know, they they could become big because they keep repeating, right? So we want to kind of clear some of that, the repetition, that seems to make us feel like we're stuck in a holding pattern, perhaps. And there's I want to clear fear around that too, that there's fear of change, right? Fear that what happens if I let go of that old pattern. Um, you know, what is that? What's out there? Oh, I don't know, and so I wrote down, where did I write it down? Somewhere I wrote down, oh yeah, change, adapt, grow. And that's kind of like what I'm going to enhance in this treatment right now, is that idea that we can change. Life is constantly in flux. Everything down to quantum particles, everything is changing. Depending on your perspective, you might see change outside with seasons, but then you see repetition and you think, well, nothing's changing. I'm sort of, everything's the same. But it really is changing. We just are perhaps seeing the repetition of whatever we're sort of in that holding pattern until we're ready to let go, ready to make a change. And then adapting, right? So the first part is something happens, and then we need to adjust, and see what, it can be an opportunity to see what we want, and to make that decision, and maybe to make a decision to um, perhaps go along with someone else's uh, desires or needs. It's all, this is all choice. Adapting, I think about it, as I age, there's always new things coming, old things. The body, definitely regenerates sometimes, and sometimes it feels like it's degenerating. and and those things, that all that happens. It happens, and we can we can choose to and make a change with it. So being flexible, and then finally growth. Want to clear all those three things. So learning, perhaps things fall apart, we make a choice, and then we rebuild or grow, and that's the cycle that we can work with in our lives. So then we're not stuck anymore. And we lost somebody. Oh, okay. Um, so I want to just take a moment to think about, some of the spots in the world where, whether it be war or natural, they call natural disasters, natural difficulties that are coming, like when the fires hit or the typhoons. Nature is, um, seemingly like our just like our bodies, perhaps, um, not supporting us. We might feel that nature has also, um, abandoned or not served us, and so, um, that it might happen that we don't feel safe, that we don't feel secure in what's happened, and um, so there then becomes, in this specific arena, a time to forgive. Um, yeah, there's this opportunity when there is this, um, situation, something's changed, something perhaps that we don't agree with or we make a judgment about, and then we think that perhaps it's not in the best interest of the world. So, um, at that point, if someone makes a mistake in our eyes, we need to learn the practices to forgive them, or or just let go of their just acknowledge, well, it was a mistake. People don't always understand the ramifications of their what they do. Some people, even thieves, they're just self-preservation, right? They want to take care of themselves, and they don't realize what else, the implications of what their behaviors do. So, um, and 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 then so we notice that, see that there's, you know an opportunity to do something different, and then we grow from it, right? The earth grows. The earth, you have a volcano, it destroys everything, and then, a year or two later, flowers are growing on from the ash. Um, so we can we can begin in our own way to find the reasons to forgive and express love. As I say the words, I'm working on enhancing them. We want to send this energy to loved ones, to anyone that, when there's a need, it's like, let's say you give someone a gift, but they don't need it. So the gift doesn't really do anything. But if there's someone in need, you can send that gift, and boy, does it really help. And so we want to be able to offer support and gifts to those that really need them. I think um, it's always so it's easy. It'll be easy to send a gift like that. Um, and yeah, I think it's there. I know that Diane, you have something that you sent me um, for some people in Jamaica, I think, and so those are the kind of things that when you see that there's a need, and it doesn't have to be financial or monetary. You can also give with your just that um, intention to help someone, to be concerned about them, and we can do that right now with with our states of mind, because we have we have power in our consciousness. So I'm supporting all that. Take a moment to breathe deep in, bringing energy into your system, but gently, not too hard with your trying to draw too much energy in, and then just gently sending it back out. Let's bring our hands into prayer type position, taking a few breaths. This time, we do this sometimes. Let's bring our arms up over the head, extending upward like you're a funnel of energy, and we're going to download energy from the universe. Nice full breath in, and then we draw that, almost like you're caught a big energy beach ball and compressing it down in toward the heart. Do it 2 more times. Inhaling up and drawing that energy. And 1 more time. Inhale. And you can use Ujjayi breathing with all this work. Turn the palms in toward the heart. Draw the energy into the body as you inhale. And letting all that energy circulate throughout the body, cleansing and revitalizing every cell. Just another couple breaths, and we're going to send it out then after that. So inhaling 1 more time, turning the palms out, and send that energy out into the universe, directing it, intentionally sending it to all those in need, drawing the hands back to the heart. And exhale. So the energy moves from the heart out through the arms and the hands. Inhale 1 more time. And exhale. Hands in front of the heart. Express gratitude, any peace, any feeling of love or compassion, any quietness, peace that you may have experienced, any physical sensations. Just grateful to be part of this wonderful experience of living. Okay, well, thanks everybody for being here. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and the rest of the week. I know if you're in the Midwest, like I think a lot of us are, the storm is past, and it's gonna get a little better. But at any rate, if you see this on YouTube or on Facebook Live, you can always contact me, direct message me on Facebook, or go to my website, bodymindmedicine.com, and let me know if you have any questions or if you need any support. I'm out here available. So thank you, and namaste, peace, and we'll see you next time. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you, Jim. And for Jamaica.
Yeah, for sure. We send a lot of love there. Okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
All around the world in there too.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
You too.
Bye.